I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach adults and teens. Our learning target for success is young driver advice. Class is in session, testing in progress. I want to welcome you in. I'm your host. Let's go ahead and get it. Let's talk about young driver advice right now. Number one, a lot of young drivers do a lot of light traffic driving at first. Mom and dad, sister and brother, caregiver, they don't want to really be in heavy traffic, such as beginning of rush hour, middle of rush hour, end of rush hour. Use your judgment and gradually get them out. It's called gradual exposure. We don't want to throw a young driver into downtown Detroit heavy traffic, downtown Houston, Texas heavy traffic, downtown Los Angeles heavy traffic. Take your time. Time. Next, watch while others are continuing to learn. You need to tell your young driver, you're going to come out and watch me drive. When you're driving, mom, dad, uncle, auntie, caregiver, narrate. Show them, this is what I do when I'm merging an expressway. I push the gas pedal to the floor and accelerate. Mom and dad, don't overcomplicate the learning process. We're talking about young drivers. Their minds aren't developed. In fact, a statistical study says that young drivers' brains don't develop until age 25. Many of you are saying, oh, great, I got to deal with this young kid to age 25. Yes, you do. Next, can tell them to continue to study, yield, and right of ways at intersections. Mom and dad, young drivers, when you look at the content, intersections are the most dangerous place. Why? We have to yield to oncoming traffic. Cars are coming from the left. Cars are coming from the right. Here's a pro tip. Mom and dad, young drivers, if you see your driver looking to the left, they're learning how to drive. Mom and dad, young drivers, if you see your young driver looking to the right, they're learning how to drive. This is called peripheral vision. They need to develop peripheral vision. Learning target for success. We're talking about young drivers. This is me. Testing is in progress. I want to welcome you in. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach adults. I teach teens. I'm in the Midwest. You have questions, you put it in. We're talking about young drivers. This is beginning driving class. Let's continue. I need you to use the Big 5 strategies when you drive. What is the Big 5? I'm going to talk about it. The first thing, tell them, get off the phone, stop texting. Your friends don't care. We don't care how many likes you have, how many followers you have. The number one priority is driving. Solid driving, relaxing driving, not stressful driving. Parents, coaches, you have a responsibility too. Don't scream at your young driver. You're going to make them not want to be with you, not want to drive around you, not listen to you. Here's another tip. You, who is in the passenger seat, is the coach. The person in the back is not the coach. It's important that you support young drivers. All of you who are listening, you're all young drivers. You want to pretend that you're safe, but you're not safe because the equalizer is safety. Safety is no accident. Let's continue. Make sure that young drivers have plenty of following distance. Young drivers tend to tailgate. And many of you say you don't care, but you do when you get your car smashed or you get rear-ended. So there are a lot of drivers who are pretending they know how to drive, and there are a group of drivers who listen to their coaches, who listen to their parents, who listen to their teachers, and who become excellent drivers. The whole world is full of people who don't care. We simply delete them, ignore them, and keep it moving. Let's continue. I need you to teach your young driver, and if you're young and you're listening to this, young is 25 and under, if you're making a left turn, I should see you looking to the left. Coaches, parents, if they're making a right turn, you should see them looking and turning their head to the right. If they're not turning their head and looking into their turn, they're going to make a wide right turn and get hit when cars make lefts. They're going to go into the wrong lane. If they're making a short right turn where they overturn, overturn, they're going to hit the curb. What I need you to do is coach them. You really have to teach them. Let's continue. When you are making lane changes, I need you to look over your shoulder. Check your mirror, inside mirror, outside mirror, passenger mirror, and then your blinkers on, and you look over your shoulder. This is my left. This is my right. What's up, Kay? How are you? We're talking about young drivers. Got a question? Put it in. Give it a thumbs up. Success leaves clues. I am learning targets for success. I am your host. This is Driving with Myles. This is me. Testing is in session. We're talking about driver's education. We're talking about young drivers. I'm a state certified instructor in the Midwest. I'm telling you what I see. I'm telling you how to pass your test. And if you're young, you need to be watching this. You need to be looking at all these videos and watching this before you take your test. So you can model these things and you can prepare for your road test, whether you're in the UK, the United States, the land down under, the Middle East. We have a lot of people who support the channel, and I love you for that. So we will continue. Next, slow down when you go into your turns. A lot of beginners go too fast. What is fast? 25, 30. We're not drifting. That's a different lesson. This lesson is in a regular passenger car, under 400 horsepower, standard controls. Go slow. Parents, guardians, young drivers, if you are going into that turn under 30 or over 30, you're going to lose control. We're not drifting. We are driving a passenger car. Let's continue. Beginning drivers have a lot of following distance. Stop early, roll up slowly, right? I want you to do well. I want you to continue to grow and continue to get better. You have to grow. Only you can do it. And it takes work. Find your uncle, your auntie, your cousin, your coach, because you need a support system. Good coaches are patient. They tell you early in advance, I need you to get over to the right. If your mom or dad or coach is screaming at you, you have the wrong coach. You want someone to support you and help you grow to get success to pass your road test. Let's continue. Young drivers need to have a lot of room when pulling out into traffic. Beginning drivers tend to not judge distance. Let's pretend I'm making a right turn. This is my right. I have to look to the left to judge. This car's going too fast. That car's going too slow. You want a gap. A gap is a space. And in that space, you'll be able to look and turn smoothly, whether your hands are at 8 and 4, 7 and 5. AAA, a national organization, says 7 and 5 is the best way to be safe and control the steering wheel. We know there's an airbag in the middle. We're not trying to blow up our thumbs. 7 and 5, 8 and 4. They're perfectly good hand positions. Let's continue to look at and grow our channel. I know you love that close-up. Let's continue to grow and love our channel. Next, beginning drivers have a difficult time judging distance. I need you to make sure that your beginning driver has time. Mom and dad, they're not like you. Coaches, they can't just push the gas and pull out in front of a truck. I'm sorry, you will be disappointed. They will almost get hit. They don't look where they're going. Tell them, I need you to go up to the middle of the intersection, let cars go by. When it's clear, turn by the double yellow. Keep your turn as short, S-H-O-R-T, to have an effective turn. Learning targets success. We want success for young drivers. I'm a state certified instructor. I teach teens and adults. Testing is in progress. I want to welcome you in. This is me, a state certified instructor. Good instructors are confident. They don't scream at you when you make mistakes. If your mom and dad screams at you, you're going to shut down. We don't scream at people when we're teaching them how to drive. You want to show care, you want to show love, you want to show understanding. Let's continue. Next, don't scare the parents. What does this mean? How do you scare the parents? You pull out in front of a car. You blow a red light. You turn right when they tell you to go straight. This is not only dangerous, it's illegal, and you could end up with a crash or a ticket. No one wants this. I need you to listen to me. I need you to look at the videos. I need you to leave comments and questions so I can help you elevate. Let's continue. New drivers don't judge distance very well. What does this mean? I don't know how far 100 feet is. I don't know how far distance is. What I need you guys to do is start counting signs. Find your following distance. It's a car length for every 10 miles an hour. If you're going 40, 4 car lengths. You're going 50, 5 car lengths. Teach your young driver about distance, speed, and control. Let's continue. New drivers don't judge speed, well, or distance. They might be going 70 in a 50. They might be going 20 in a 40. So we have to teach them. You have to teach them what to do, how to grow, how to become a safe driver, because that's the goal of this. I'm telling you what to do because I'm a state certified instructor. I'm here to help you grow, help you elevate. New drivers need a lot of verbal instructions ahead of time. Don't just get into the car and sit. Tell your son, tell your daughter, tell the young driver what to do. They will appreciate it. You may think, I'm not going to say anything. You have to, because they don't know how to drive. But they just took a class. They don't know about your car, your truck. Teach them, take them in neighborhoods. 12 right turns, hand over hand in, hand over hand out. I'm in the United States. What does this mean? We do hand over hand. We have our hands at 7 and 5, 8 and 4, 9 and 3. Everyone's driving coach is different. In the UK, they do hand to hand. They have manuals. They have junctions. We have intersections, okay? We have main roads that take us through Detroit, Michigan, Los Angeles, California. We are not going by Big Ben. We're not going to the UK. We're talking about American rules, American driving elements to help you apply those elements, whether you're in the UK, Australia, Afghanistan. Safe driving is safe driving, whether you're driving on the left or driving on the right. Let's continue. Our learning targets for success. We're talking about young drivers. I am your host. Testing is in progress. Welcome. I'm a state certified instructor. We're trying to get you ready, advice for young drivers to get enrolled into a class. Don't assume they know what they are doing. Don't assume. This is when accidents happen. This is when you go the wrong way on a one-way. Let us continue. What makes a good driving instructor? Young drivers, listen to this. And if your coaches, your parents aren't similar to this, you're going to have problems. Number one, they're patient. They're going to help you. Number two, they're nice. They don't yell at you when you make mistakes. Number three, they give directions in advance. Example, at the light, I want you to make a left turn. Also, they use hand directions. I point left, I point right. In my videos, I point. Next, they don't make last minute decisions. For example, turn right. No, turn left. Next, they make conversation with you. Next, visual demonstrations. For example, they demonstrate by having a sit in the car. They move the seat around until you can adjust your mirror. You get your mirrors right. Next, in the classroom, they have a steering wheel. They show you what to do. They talk with you, not at you. That's a very important point. Next, they are considerate. Your mom and dad brought you in this world. They can take you out. Your instructor needs to be considerate. And I'm saying very positive things because we're dealing with human beings. Next, in the classroom, they share stories relating to the concept, such as I talked about the UK. I've been up to Montreal, okay? It's really important that you understand the goal. That's to teach beginners how to be safe, teach young drivers. They learn by doing, not by talking. Next, they're a funny teacher. I'm very funny. Hello, V, how are you? We're talking about young drivers, young driver advice. I'm a state certified driving instructor. We're talking about what are our learning targets? Our learning targets for success. Teaching young drivers. A young driver is someone 25 and under because of medical research, your brain does not develop until age 25. I'm your host. Testing is in progress. You have a state certified driving instructor. You want to ask questions. You want to leave comments, leave them. Testing is in progress. I want to welcome you in. I teach in the Midwest. I'm here in the United States. A lot of these elements can be used in the UK, in Australia, in India, anywhere in the world. Let's continue. A good coach is very calm in the car. They give you advice on how to improve. We want to get better as a society. They give you positive reinforcement. That was a great turn. Good acceleration. They always remind you to do things constantly. And it's important. What's up, D? How you doing? We're talking about what makes a good driving instructor. How do we coach young drivers? Put your questions in. I will shout you out. They allow you to fix your mistakes and help you figure out what you did wrong. Next, in the classroom, they interact with students. They let you work on your worksheet. They allow you to fix your mistakes. They help you figure out what you did wrong and develop the question as well as the answer. They use their hands to show you where to look because it's very stressful for beginning drivers. Next, they make jokes and make you feel comfortable. I tell dad jokes. I'm a dad. Next, there's no awkward silence in the car. In the classroom, they play games. They use physical demonstrations. They allow you to move around the class. It's important that you live your best life. You do your best. They allow you to listen to the radio. In the classroom, they're funny, they use diagrams, and they demonstrate. Let's continue. What is our learning targets for success? We're talking about beginning drivers, young drivers. That's our focus today. We're not random. We're not putting random things into the comments. Use substance. We're trying to help people grow and get better. Next, let's talk about facts about driver's education to help you. Number one, driver's education is a formal program or course designed to teach individuals how to operate a motor vehicle safely and responsibly. A lot of you who are on here are young drivers or thinking about taking driving or have anxiety. Allow me to support you, allow me to help you, allow me to encourage you. Number two, driver's education typically includes both classroom and behind the wheel. This is your classroom right now. I'm in the driver's ed car. I'm going over some of the elements of driving to help you grow and to help you become a better driver. Let's continue. The goal of driver's education is to prepare new drivers for the challenges on the road, to help them reduce anxiety, to reduce accidents. Young drivers have a difficult time developing consistency. They need a support system. So mom and dad, you have to support your young driver. You need to allow them time to learn. Next, typically, driver's education courses cover traffic laws, defensive driving techniques, and the dangers of distracted driving. Many high schools offer driver's education as part of the curriculum, and students may be required to complete the courses in order to obtain a license. So it's really important that you understand this. He's arrested, so you don't want to get arrested. What I need you to do is not make mistakes and go to jail. Many people will go to jail because they think they're above the law. Driving is a privilege, not a right. The law goes after all people who break laws, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's continue. Driver's education are typically licensed professionals. I'm a licensed professional who undergo specialized training in teaching safe driving practices. That's what it's all about. Teaching safe driving practices, continuing to elevate. What is our learning target for success, young drivers? We're not talking about crashes. We're not talking about Donald Trump. We're not talking about how people look. We're talking about focusing. A lot of people are out of pocket. And when you're out of pocket, you won't learn how to drive. And I want all of you to know this. Our learning target is young drivers. We could care less about other things that are going on. You need to shut out the outside noise. I'm here for you. My area is driver's education, teaching adults, teaching teens. We're not worried about political postures. We're not worried about how people look. I'm here to teach you how to drive. And upwards of 25 to 46, a lot of people don't want to drive because they have anxiety. Let's continue. Driver's education instructors are typically licensed professionals who have undergone specialized training and teaching safe driving practices. Next, some driver's education programs offer advanced courses for experienced drivers. I will be offering this soon, such as defensive driving or skid control training. Many of you may call this drifting. Next, driver's education requirements vary from state to state to state and in different jurisdictions and countries around the world, such as in India or Australia, they drive on the left. I'm here in the United States. We drive on the right. Research has shown that completing a driver's education course can lead to safer driving, reduced crashes among young drivers. Those of you who are watching this, you're considered a young driver. If you're an older driver, get your knowledge on. Get better. Tell me where you're from, what part of the country, what part of the world. Let's continue. What is our learning targets? Success. We're success for young drivers. We want to teach them success. How do you drive a car? How do you go to the DMV? How do you get a TIP if you're over 18? What if no one in the family will help you? How do I study for a test? What do I do if I have anxiety? How do I make a left turn? How do I merge on the freeway? There's so many questions that young drivers have. Put your information in and I will answer. Let's continue. Now we're going to be talking about the road test. I'm going to help you pass. I want to answer your questions. How do you pass the road test? Well, I'm going to go through the process. Teacher intervenes. The following dangerous maneuvers will result in an automatic failure. I'm going to talk about automatic failures first. This is the final road skills evaluation. You're getting so much value, and if you're getting value, give it a thumbs up. Teacher has to intervene to maintain control. Your driving road tester has to turn the wheel. Next, disobeys a regulatory sign, a stop sign, a yield sign. Next, speeding 10 or more over the limit. You're getting a lot of value. I'm helping prepare you so when you get into the car, you can be more relaxed. Driving is a privilege, not a right. Let's continue. A dangerous maneuver. You cut off a car. You make a left turn in front of a car and almost get hit. I'm going to help you pass. Next, you strike an object. You hit a curb. You hit a sign. You hit a car. This is automatic failure. You fail to yield. This is why it's so important that we develop positive driving fundamentals, so when you take your test, it's automatic. You see the yield sign, you yield and slow down. You see the stop sign, you stop for a minimum of 3 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003. What is our learning targets for success? We're talking about young drivers. Young drivers, you need to listen to this. I have a lot of people who are getting ready to take their road tests. You need to be listening because I'm going to prepare you. Next, pre-driving checks, your mirrors, your headlights, your taillights. Do you accelerate smoothly or do you coast? If you have a manual, you're shifting to 3, clutch, 4, clutch, 5, clutch. We're not power shifting. We're not missing third gear. That's another lesson altogether. We're driving a passenger car. We're coming up to a junction. We're coming up to a roundabout. Do you know how to properly go through a roundabout? Are you going to yield to traffic already in the roundabout? Next, do you know how to do emergency braking? You want to check behind you, make sure it's clear. You hit those brakes, you keep that wheel straight. Are you swerving to the right, swerving to the left? You have to maintain vehicle control. Next, do you search with your mirrors? Are you checking your passenger mirror? Are you checking your driver's side mirror? This is my driver's side mirror. I'm looking. This is my passenger side mirror. My center mirror. I frame the rear window in the mirror. You need to know these things. Your instructor should have taught you these things. Let's continue. Do you identify targets? We're talking about visual search. Are you searching 15 to 20 seconds ahead? Good drivers will elevate, and instructors and road testers know if you've been practicing. Next, do you turn your head and identify a target? I'm looking left. I'm going to the left. I'm looking right. I'm going to the right. Turn your head. Look where you want to go. Are you able to judge stopping distance and adequate following distance? Keep space. What are our learning targets? Success. We're talking about young drivers. We're talking about the final road skills evaluation. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach teens. I teach adults. I'm in the Midwest. Testing is in progress. I want to welcome you in. We want to continue to learn and continue to get better and improve. You have to improve. And if you're with someone who's not improving, you won't get better. This is for young adults. This is for young drivers. This is not for a kid because kids don't drive cars. Next, do you use push-pull? This is push-pull. Or are you turning hand over hand into the turn, hand over hand out? Are you driving at 8 and 4? Your hand's a little bit lower on the wheel. Are you driving at 7 and 5? 10 and 2. There's more than one way. Again, 9 and 3, 7 and 5, 10 and 2. If you have longer arms, 7 and 5 may be better for you. 8 and 4. Everyone is a little bit different. Different countries, different states, based on what your coach taught you, your parents, my videos, you will divide and correct your own driving style. I'm here to help you. I got you, B. Look at these videos, leave comments. I will help you. We're talking about the road test. I got you. Are you using hand over hand? Do you shuffle the wheel and you're going into your turn too fast? You will actually go to the left side of the road to hit a car. Are you overturning? If you turn short, you're going to go over the curb, and that's automatic failure. Big metropolitan cities like New York, Detroit, Chicago, Houston, Texas, Los Angeles, they are huge. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. I have some top videos. Give us a thumbs up. That's when you know it's value. Let's continue. Are you choosing the best lane? When you make a right turn, are you turning in the second lane? Are you turning in the nearest lane? Nearest lane facilitates a smoother flow of traffic. Let's continue. Are you checking traffic? Do you look left before you make a right, or are you just making a right turn? If you just look and don't check traffic, I'm going to mark you down. We are dangerous. We will get struck. Ken, I'm here for you. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. We're talking about the final skills road evaluation. What is our learning target for success? I'm your state certified driving instructor. I'm in the Midwest. Testing is in progress. I want to welcome you in. I'm a state certified driving instructor. We're pausing for a moment. We're in the driver's ed car. We're teaching you how to pass your test. And if you have questions, you put this in. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, B. Let's continue. We're talking about the final road skills evaluation. And if this brings you value, give it a thumbs up. Next, do you visualize adequate gaps? Are you looking, or do you just pull out in front of a car? Thank you, Ken. Give it a thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up. It's really important that you understand about safety. Safety's no accident. Are you completing the turn in the proper lane? Do you start in the inside right lane? You end up in the left? And then you're like, I'm sorry. You've got to control the vehicle. Control and uncontrolled intersections. Do you look for an open space? Do you obey traffic signs and signals? Are you understanding rules of the right of way? A lot of drivers don't understand this. I will make a video on this. I will talk about this. I will show you diagrams. Do you stop in the proper position? The proper position is behind the stop line or stop bar. The stop sign is to your right. Then after you stop, you inch forward. It's called showing the car. Let's continue. Curves. Do you enter the curve at the proper speed? Beginning drivers go too fast. They'll hit the gravel and spin off into the ditch. I've been in the ditch too many times because beginning drivers, young drivers, don't understand speed control. Next, do you understand about gradually increasing your speed in the apex? I'm talking to our racers now. Do you understand what the apex is? If you don't, you need to look that up. Maintains proper lane position. Do you go in short and do you end up to the left part of the curve? We're going to spin out. Lane changes. Do you signal? Do you look over your shoulder? I appreciate you, and I want you to do well. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate you. No virus. Next, let's continue. Do you turn your head if you're making a lane change to the left? Look over your shoulder. Mirror, turn signal, blind spot. If you're making a lane change to the right, mirror, turn signal, blind spot. Look over your shoulder. Do your best work. Listen to your mom. Listen to your coach. I'm a state certified instructor. Learning targets for success. We're talking about young drivers. I'm your state certified driving instructor. Testing is in progress. Welcome in. You got questions, you put them in. I'm taking some time to go over some of the things to help new drivers, to help all drivers elevate and get better. We're not here playing games. We're not talking about Donald Trump. We're not talking about what's going on in the world. We're focusing on driving. I do have a sense of humor, but let's focus on driving right now. Let's become our best authentic selves. Then we can learn. Then we can laugh together as a community, because that's what it's really about. Next, do you maintain proper following distance? A lot of beginning drivers tailgate, back off. You want a car length for every 10 miles an hour. If you're going 30, 3 cars. 40, 4 cars. 50, 5 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Keep space. Take your time. Time. Never veer for the deer. If you veer, you're going to lose control and crash. What's up, E? How you doing? Next, let's talk about some of the other fundamentals of Expressway. Do you accelerate properly? Beginning drivers, young drivers, no. You're scared. You don't push the gas. You don't push the gas to get the car into the turbo boost stage. You're coming out with 2 pounds of boost. Not enough. You need to come out with 5 pounds of boost. Push the gas pedal down to the floor. You'll gradually pick up. The car will build boost. You'll come out about 55 and about 5 to 7 pounds of boost. Really important. You do have to watch out for the deer. Next, do you identify a gap? Beginning drivers don't. They're scared. they squeeze the wheel. Mom, dad, coaches, help them elevate. Push the gas pedal, pick your target, and go. Next, do you maintain proper position? Beginning drivers don't. You'll drift to the left. You're like, oh my God. You'll drift to the right. Oh my God. Hold the wheel, relax your grip, elbows are down, thumbs are up, 8 and 4, 7 and 5. Based on AAA, and I'm giving you a national source, based on AAA, according to AAA, you want to come out 45 or 50. Yes, Ken, thank you. 50 to 60 miles an hour is fine. You're in the first lane. Beginning drivers, you need to drive in the right lane. I don't need you in the middle lane. They're going 70. I don't need you in the left lane. They're going 80. You have no business going 80. You have no business going 90. First lane to the right or middle lane. If you can't keep up speed, get your butt over to the right lane because that's going to start road rage. Then you're going to be very upset when a driver's tailgating you looking crazy, out of pocket. That's another lesson. Prepare to stop. A lot of beginning drivers are velocitized. That's the feeling of going faster than you already are. Reduce your speed. If this is giving you value, give it a thumbs up. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, E. Thank you, M. Really appreciate you. Learning targets for success. We're talking about young drivers. If you're a young driver, 25 and down, this is for you. If you're a coach, mom, dad, instructors, you need to be listening to this. You need to be coaching. And the middle lane is the best lane. Thank you, Ken. Because the left lane, they're going 80, 90. Okay? Right lane, trucks are merging on. Cars are merging on. It's so scary for a beginning driver. I've seen the fear. They're like, ah! You don't want to be in that right lane. I need you to have good control of your car, and I need you to take the time. The middle lane is the best lane. Subscribe to the channel. Look at the videos. Leave comments. I will go live later. Bye.